So I thought they were missing in action, and I'm wondering, are they actually going to be a part of the battle, or are they going to die? What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex Yu, and you're watching The Road to TF5. This is just a web series we're talking about Transformers last night. This is episode number 84. And I want to say happy birthday to Cornelia Smith, Spooky Color Ride, Jade Tate, Kartik Thacker, Knuckles Chuckles the Trumpeteer, Zachary Stevens, Chicano Studios, Danger DeWitt, and Kathy Chagoya. Happy birthday to all y'all. Hope you have a good one. Thank you for being part of the Ragin Nation. And I also want to say congratulations to Aaron09345 on Instagram for reaching 1,000+ followers on Instagram. If you don't already know, Aaron09345 is the premier Instagram account which covers a lot of the filming of Transformers last night in the UK. He's been hard at work going all over London and outer London, like the outer parts of London, doing a lot of coverage on Instagram for Transformers last night, and it has been an awesome journey. The journey has now reached an end because Transformers last night has finally wrapped up filming in the UK. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on. I just want to say congratulations, and you've done an excellent job. So, moving on, I would like to address something that I talked about in my previous episode, episode number 83, based on this photo at the Brand Licensing Europe 2016 Expo of Megatron in his new form. I mentioned that he is going to have a beast mode. And I've been reading a lot of comments, and a lot of people are saying, no, you're wrong. He's going to be a Cybertronian jet. And the reason why people say that is because of the Joe Blow plot leak. And that mentioned that Megatron is going to end up being a jet. He's going to have a jet mode. Now, first of all, I would like to say that that plot leak is something that we're not even supposed to know about. It's a plot leak for a reason, and that is because this is information that is not meant to be out there in the public. We're not supposed to know this stuff, okay? And that plot leak, or at least what they've mentioned, is incomplete. They couldn't possibly have every single detail in that, in that little article. So even though it mentions that Megatron is going to be a jet, he might not be. He might still be. But even if he is going to be a jet, he still could also be a beast. You know what I'm saying? So just because it says it there doesn't mean that it's going to be true. And just because it says it on the plot leak doesn't mean that he's not going to be something else. So I'm just throwing that out there, that he could be a jet, and he could be a beast, he could be a dragon, he could be anything. We're just not supposed to know this stuff because, after all, it is a plot leak. So that's what I wanted to comment about that. Hey, of course, since we're talking about Megatron, what about Optimus Prime? We haven't heard or seen anything about Optimus Prime. The last time we even saw the truck, the Western Star truck, was back in, I think Arizona filming, but even that was just some brief sightings. Well, if you follow the Instagram account of OP Wheelman, that would be the driver of the Optimus Prime Western Star truck. He's been posting a lot of stuff on the Instagram account, mainly saying that he's getting ready to roll out. And I guess he's getting Optimus ready to roll out, getting ready for the scenes that they're going to film in Chicago. And if you look at any of the photos, if you look at the hashtags, it says hashtag Transformers 5. So I think he's getting ready to roll out, and we're going to see Optimus Prime back in Chicago when they're back to do battle once again. So anyways, moving on, let's talk about the last and final days of filming in the UK, specifically at Bourne Woods. That's where they were filming the medieval battle that where there's a lot of talk about that scene, whether it be a flashback or a major sequence that might even involve Cybertronians. Anyways, it turns out that there's more information about it because Michael Bay went live on Facebook to broadcast during the filming of the battle. And he broadcasted twice. I broadcasted once yesterday and once again this morning. So I just want to talk about what he talked about, or rather mentioned, on yesterday's broadcast. First of all, we learned that filming at Bourne Woods, that medieval sequence, was actually the last sequence that they were going to film in the UK. They wanted to save the biggest sequence for last, okay? So, which is pretty cool. And also, after this, they are moving the production to Africa, which is a pretty big deal. I mean, the last time we saw them film in Africa was in Transformers Dark of the Moon, and that was where Megatron was at when they introduced Megatron as a Mad Max-style fuel tanker. And that was a very, very brief sequence. It was the introduction of Soundwaves and the return of Starscream, and also Laserbeak was in that scene. But anyways, they're going back to Africa, and I'm just wondering, what about filming in Iceland? What about filming in Northern Ireland and Mongolia? Maybe they're still going back to those countries. Maybe not. They could still change things. After all, we didn't even know about the Africa filming until yesterday. So that is something that just came out of left field. But anyways, yeah, they're going there after the UK filming, so pretty much they're on their way there now. Another thing that I learned from yesterday's live broadcast was that, well, during the filming of the medieval battle sequence, it was delayed due to nature, and by nature, it most likely meant heavy rain. But the most interesting thing that I gathered from yesterday's broadcast was that there is a major chase sequence, like a car chase sequence, on the Queen's driveway where they drove at speeds as high as 92 miles an hour. So I'm pretty sure that involves the lady, aka the McLaren 570S and a whole bunch of TRF vehicles. And there's most likely going to be some pretty hardcore vehicular destruction. Now, he did come back to do another live broadcast on Facebook, and that was this morning, and I just happened to catch it live, which was pretty awesome because he was basically communicating to us, the fans, live while he was there at Bourne Woods. So there was a couple more exciting things that were learned during the broadcast. So he specified where he was going to be filming it in Africa, and that was Namibia. And that is the specific location, and I'm not sure why they're going there. What they're going to film there, I guess we'll find out later on. Another thing that is pretty exciting that he mentioned was he listed a whole bunch of actors that are working on this film, and he mentioned John Goodman is back to play Hound, and another actor that's coming back is John Turturro. Remember John Turturro? He plays Agent Simmons in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, and Transformers Dark of the Moon. And he represented Sector 7 in the first film. And, well, he is back. He is back, and it's going to be kind of weird to see Agent Simmons because Joshua Joyce is also in this film, and it's going to be kind of weird to see them together because, like, I thought that Stanley Tucci's character, Joshua Joyce, is kind of like the Agent Simmons of this new, I guess, Return of Transformers, starting with Age of Extinction. So I never thought that Agent Simmons would be back, but apparently he's back. Considering this is Michael Bay's last film, coming back to the Transformers franchise, I guess he's bringing all the main players back, and everybody's coming back, and so this is going to be a big one, and he's going out with a bang. Now, the last thing that he mentioned was that, now this is really exciting stuff, the trailer, or rather, I would say the teaser, the very first teaser, is coming out possibly next month, November. He actually mentioned November or December. So at the end of it all, we're going to see a teaser by the end of the year. So not Super Bowl. Super Bowl was typically when they would release the very, very first piece of marketing. But if they keep their word, then it is coming out next month at the very, very earliest, but by the end of the year at the very, very latest. Now that's going to be really, really exciting. I mean, they filmed a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure that Michael Bay can put something really quickly together and then get something to get us all excited. After all, they've been doing so much filming, and, you know, we'd like to know, as fans, what they've been up to. So if they can get that marketing in as early as November, I'll be pretty happy. All right. So that's pretty awesome, and I wanted to check out if there was more stuff going on, so I decided to go on Twitter. And as I've mentioned before, if you want to look up some real-time scoops on the filming of Transformers last night, all you got to do is go on Twitter and do a hashtag search. Specifically, hashtag Transformers5, you'll find a whole lot of stuff. And so I found this wonderful video that was posted by Sicros, at Sicros on Twitter. And what it was this video, which has the tweet, last day of shooting in Bourne Woods, hashtag Transformers 5. Now, I don't know if Sicros actually works on the production set or if he's just somebody who's just standing on the sidelines just watching. But anyways, what he captured was a video of this fiery spiked ball that goes flying through the air and then lands on the ground and things start blowing up. And that's a pretty exciting thing. I guess this was one of the projectiles that was launched by the trebuchet. But the big question for me is wondering if this is this a straight up like battle between humans, or are we actually going to see Cybertronians in this battle? Maybe the Saxons and the King Arthur's knights, they're battling, then later on Cybertronians arrive, and then that's why they have to use the trebuchet as artillery to fight them off. Anyways, I don't know, but this is a major sequence, but it's going to be a flashback sequence. But for a flashback sequence, it's a pretty big deal. So anyways, I'm going to leave you a link on the description box below for you to check out that video. It is pretty cool. Now, for the rest of the filming at Bourne Woods, of course, it was a really, really major sequence. So there is a huge gallery of photos posted by the Daily Mail UK, and let's take a look at a couple of those photos. Here we see, I guess these would be King Arthur's knights. You see some casualties of war. Those look like the Saxon invaders, and there they are coming from the woods, and this is a battle taking place. You can see the people holding flags, and there they are just gathered around, and there's the actual battle taking place. And then there's Michael Bay doing some directing, and there's his assistant with the big afro. And then look at the battle. There's fire going on. They're also filming with a drone to get some aerial footage and explosions going off. Anyways, I posted these photos on the Ragin Nation Facebook page. It's posted in a gallery, or you could check it out at the website link at the Daily Mail UK. I'm going to leave a link in the description box below. That's pretty cool. Now let's go back in time during the Stonehenge filming. I want to share with you this little article. It's a newspaper article which was shared to me by Tom Everett. Thank you, Tom, for sharing this with me. The headline reads, Airmen Take Starring Role in Robot Action Film. I'm going to read you what it says. Servicemen from Suffolk Air Base got their moment in Hollywood spotlight during filming for the new Transformers movie. Airmen from Royal Air Force Lakenheath were invited to take part in the film named Transformers last night, along with two of the USAF, United States Air Force Base, HA-60G Pave Hawks. They're not Black Hawks. I mentioned they were Black Hawks. They're actually Pave Hawks. The helicopters were used to shoot scenes in Wiltshire around the replica of Stonehenge. Constructed by the film studio, the supporting airmen from the 56th Rescue Squadron got the chance to meet veteran actor Sir Anthony Hopkins, who was starring in the Michael Bay film. The dramatic scenes featuring Sir Anthony and Mark Wahlberg saw the model of the 5,000-year-old monument blown to smithereens. So Stonehenge is going to get blown up. Obviously, that is why they had to make a replica. And to top things off, those are not Black Hawks, those are Pave Hawks. And what we gather from just reading this is that those Pave Hawks are not Transformers. They're not Decepticons, they're not Combaticons, they're not going to form Bruticus. Based on what I gather from this article, it looks like these are actual, military support vehicles, aerial vehicles, that's just going to be flying around and transporting soldiers. So that's what I gather. I don't think they're actually going to do any actual damage. But anyways, thank you, Tom Everett, for sharing that with me. Very, very cool. And there you have it. That's all I got to say in this episode. Hey, remember I mentioned that on Instagram I was going to do something called the Transformers Alphabet Battle or Transformers Alphabet Challenge. I want you to look that up. Hashtag Transformers Alphabet Challenge or hashtag Transformers Alphabet Battle. And the reason why is because some awesome Ragin Nation members have posted their battles and challenge videos. And just like I said before, if you didn't watch the previous video, what it is a challenge video where I say the letter A and then I'll say a Transformers word. Like, for example, like this. A for Autobot, B for Bumblebee, C for Cybertron, D for Decepticon, E for Energon, F for... okay, stumped. But anyways, so as long as you can go from A to Z without reading and only from memory alone, and do it within the allotted time in an Instagram video within 1 minute, then that is the challenge. To be able to do that from A to Z without reading within a minute, then post a video on Instagram, tag me, hashtag Transformers Alphabet Battle, hashtag Transformers Alphabet Challenge, show me your video, and I'll check it out, and I'll comment on that. Anyways, I want to give a big shout out to those who have participated. Prime Pick, Mohammed Imani, JTG16722, the TF Nerd, Ted Anderson 19. Thank you guys so much. You guys can check out their videos by looking up the hashtag. Anyways, the last thing I want to mention about the movie before I sign off is that, remember in the Snapchat photos that was prepping us up for Transformers Tuesday, they posted these photos of the soldiers going uphill, and then they drew in Bumblebee, they drew in Hot Rod, they drew in Hound. And I was just thinking, what about Crosshairs and Drift? So I thought they were missing in action, and I'm wondering, are they actually going to be a part of the battle, or are they going to die? So I would like to leave you guys this question, all right? Do you think Hound, Drift, or Crosshairs is going to die? And you can leave me a comment on the comment section below who you think is going to die. All I know is that in every Transformers film, there was always an Autobot death. There was 1 or 2 or even 3 if you count what happened to... what happened in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I think there was 3 deaths. 4 actually. Jetfire, Optimus Prime, and the triplets, the RC triplets. But anyways, there's always going to be an Autobot that dies in every single one of these films. Who do you think it's going to be in Transformers Last Night? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post the photos of Crosshairs, Hound, and Drift on Instagram, and I want you to vote by double tapping. Okay, so if you double tap, that means you voted because you believe that either Crosshairs, Hound, or Drift is gonna die. Now, don't double tap on all 3 because that means that you think all 3 are gonna die. So just pick 1 or 2 characters that you think are gonna die, and we'll see when we get to the Road to TF5 episode number 85, the next episode. We'll see how many people actually are convinced that that character is going to die. Anyway, so head over to my Instagram and then put in your votes on who you think is gonna die. All right, so there you have it. That's all I gotta say in this episode, and there you have it. Stay tuned for episode number 85. And as always, if you want to see more and you're enjoying this web series, hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like me on Facebook, the Ragin Nation. Also follow me on Twitter, Ragin Nation. My name's Alex. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace. And it's in French, et la au milieu et basse Michael Bay hashtag Transformers 5. And what you see in the background is the lady with the doors wide open.